Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the moods, safety and emotional well-being of those of you who have moon located within the 9th house within your natal birth chart, but also for those of you who have the sign of Cancer ruling the 9th house within your natal birth chart as well. However, before we do get started, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it today. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to of course click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more quick thing to mention, if you would like to know more information all about your moon sign, your moon house, along with your Cancer house and your 4th house within your birth chart, then I have created a Cancer season/archetype ebook. So what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today if you would like. Okay, so with all those introductions out of the way, moon in the 9th house and Cancer ruling the 9th house individuals, let's do this. Okay, so if you have moon in the 9th house or the sign of Cancer ruling the 9th house, then what this suggests is that your emotions are strongly tied in with your beliefs, whatever your beliefs may be. So if your belief system is based on a certain philosophy that you follow, then you might react emotionally towards others who either support or refrain from this particular philosophy here. Or if your belief system, as another example here, is based on a certain religious practice that you choose to live your life according to, then when certain emotions arise within you, then you might process them based on what your religion teaches you. And you might also become pretty protective of your beliefs as well. So if you ever feel attacked by someone who challenges your beliefs, then you might react strongly, whether your reaction be verbally or physically expressed, or whether your reaction be more in the open or held within. I suppose it depends on the type of sign that the moon is in here within the chart. But regardless, a reaction can arise from within you as a way to protect and defend yourself, to defend the beliefs that you hold. And it could also be suggested that your beliefs, they stem from childhood. So maybe your mother greatly influenced your views of the world. Or maybe your family as a whole was or still is religious, resulting in you being raised to believe in that particular way of life. Or quite perhaps you were raised in a certain country, but then you moved as a child, leading to you becoming more accustomed to a different culture and to a different belief system, while still deeply feeling in your soul the beliefs from your native homeland. And if this most recent example is the case for you, then perhaps you're someone who shares your culture with others. You like to teach other people about your culture. Maybe you're quite open about where you're from. Though on the other hand, maybe for some of you, you're very protective and very defensive of your culture. Or for others of you, you can be quite sentimental and nostalgic when it comes to your culture. So sometimes you might reflect on your childhood as you ponder over what could have been, or as you miss relatives back home that you don't really see as often as you'd like to, or maybe you make sure to take trips back and forth to see the family. However, on the flip side of this, maybe relatives of yours have moved away at some point, possibly specifically your mother, or maybe you simply have family members located in just different places around the world. Though whatever the case may be, your family has certainly played a very important and large role, let's just say, in forming your views about the world, along with the belief system that you go on to follow. Now, you could argue that the same could be said when it comes to anybody, but I think when it comes to you, moon in the 9th house, Cancer ruling the 9th house individuals, there are emotional attachments involved here. They're sentimental attachments. Now, on one hand, I think you can be very supportive of other people's beliefs. You can be quite receptive or open to hearing other people's opinions, etc. But on the other hand, there may be this part of you that can feel threatened by other people's beliefs and opinions that are unknown to you. See, what's important to keep in mind is that your beliefs, they provide a lot of security and safety for you. They make you feel really safe in a way. And so to have someone else come along and shake your beliefs, you might feel unsettled, unsafe. So sure, you might be good at nurturing others when it comes to these things, but they better not come at you declaring that their beliefs are more true than yours. Though, to be fair, for some of you, maybe you can cling tightly onto your beliefs, resulting in you closing yourself off from others who disagree. Perhaps this really depends upon the sign that the moon is in, along with aspects, of course, but maybe still there's a part of you that clings to your worldview as you refuse to accept other people's views. Furthermore, maybe you're someone who forms emotional connections with places that you travel to. If it is that you decide to travel at all, of course, because for some of you, maybe you haven't even left the country, you haven't even left your home city. But for those of you who have traveled abroad, maybe there's a type of bond that you form with that long distance place that you visit. Maybe you come back with a desire, so you return back home with a desire to redecorate your home, or maybe you collect some really nice recipes to try and then you start to try them out when you get back home. Or maybe you make it a family tradition to keep visiting that particular location every year. On the other hand though, there's also a possibility of you deciding on which destinations to visit based on how you feel or based on what your gut reactions say. So you might refuse to travel to certain places if you get a bad feeling about it, or you might get a really, really strong gut feeling about a certain place and then you travel to it. Perhaps traveling itself is just something that's comfortable and therapeutic for you. Or maybe you absolutely despise and detest the thought of traveling on a plane for hours, well, for over more than 4 hours, because of just how uncomfortable that whole process can make you feel. Though another possibility may be that you take a trip to a certain country and you feel so completely at home there that you decide, you know what? We're going to move here permanently. I'm moving here. Or maybe you're someone who yearns for just a place of belonging. You yearn for a home that feels emotionally satisfying. Possibly even a home that feels deep and spiritual to you. Maybe you love the thought of living by the water, or maybe you prefer to live close to family rather than traveling too far away. And even if you're not the type to travel much, then maybe you form close bonds with people who have. And it's these people that broaden your worldview. They expand your mind. This kind of reminds me of my Cancer boyfriend, and he has Sun and Mercury in the 9th house along with the sign of Cancer ruling the 9th house cusp, and he hasn't really traveled abroad. But I have traveled to many countries, and I'm always just telling him random stories about my trips. And what I also notice about him is how just smart he is. Just how intellectual he is. He's always sharing knowledge with me that is very mind-blowing. It's knowledge that is very supportive and insightful to my journey. So I do get a lot from him in terms of what he knows. Which, if you do have Moon in the 9th house or Cancer ruling the 9th house, then you probably care for your loved ones through sharing what you know. You can deliver some major philosophical truth bombs that change your loved ones' perspectives for the better. And you might also be very good at keeping your loved ones positive and hopeful. Someone who can help them see the bigger picture and the wider vision. Which, by the way, you might have premonitions about the future, or you might be able to foretell what the future may bring. Maybe you have actual visions, or maybe you have deep emotions and feelings, or maybe you experience both. However, that's not to say that you don't go through your moments of fear, because there can be times whenever you feel chaotic and just all over the place. Especially whenever new information arises that take you off track from your from that direction that you were headed towards. So this could be something that challenges your beliefs, or this could be something that creates a lot of sadness within your life, such as the loss of a family member or a new law being put into place that threatens your security. Though whatever the case may be, or whichever way this plays out, you might become fearful and apprehensive when your direction, meaning, or purpose is shaken up. However, for those of you who are religious or spiritual, maybe you turn to God when these things happen. Or maybe you put your faith in God altogether, and so you allow yourself to be guided by what your perspective of God is. And for those of you who aren't religious or necessarily spiritual, maybe you follow a certain philosophy or ideology to help you through. Though speaking of philosophy, maybe it's you, Moon in the 9th house, Cancer ruling the 9th house individuals, who live your lives according to the philosophy that you'll have a child one day. Or for those of you who already have children, maybe your philosophy is based on that of protecting your children at any cost. Maybe you can be fiercely protective of your family because to you, they are the reason for why you live. It's your family and it's your support system that provides meaning in your life. Though it could also be suggested that you adapt different philosophies depending on who is in your life at the time, or depending upon where you are in your life, suggesting that your beliefs, they can change, they can fluctuate a little bit due to how you're influenced by your surroundings. Now, in terms of higher learning, perhaps you went on or will go on to study a higher educational subject because it's something that was or is being influenced by your mother. Or maybe you decide to study something like support work or nursing or interior design, hospitality, cooking. Maybe you decide even not to go into higher educational programs at all. And instead, you decide to pursue something new based on your feelings and your hunches. So if you have an intuitive urge to explore a particular field, then you will. Or if you have a gut feeling to roam the world, then you will. Or if you know what, you get a certain feeling to start a family, then damn it, you will. Basically, it's your very sensitive and finely attuned inner world that guides you and supports you as you make bigger and wider decisions throughout your life. It's your inner world that supports you on your quest for meaning. And let's also not forget the importance of security here as well, suggesting that it's your meaning that must feel secure. It must feel safe. Now, on one hand, this can imply that you're not a huge risk taker, but on the other hand, whenever you're called to make a risk of some kind, you might question your safety and your security as you do so. So in this way, you might be someone who prefers to play it safe in life, but when presented with a change, you'll embrace the change, but with caution. Though essentially, it's you, Moon in the 9th house, Cancer ruling the 9th house, who would rather take on certain new opportunities and directions in life that provide more feelings of ease, comfort, and safety. Now, the last and final thing that I want to mention is just how well you can absorb and retain the information and knowledge that you seek. Maybe this makes you someone with a pretty good memory when it comes to further learning. And this also makes you someone with a real good understanding of higher intellectual subject matters. This can create then within you somebody who is very intellectual, someone who's well up to speed with the bigger picture. So there's no trying to outsmart you, that's for sure. Trust me, I know. But what I will say as I close off this reading is just try to make time for breaks, because there can be a tendency with you, Moon in the 9th house, Cancer ruling the 9th house individuals, of really getting caught up in the erratic conclusions where you start believing that you know the answers to everything due to those deep emotional ties that are connected with your theories. So yeah, try and not let your emotions get in the way of what is actually true over what you feel to be true. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the mood, safety and emotional well-being of those of you who have moon located within the 9th house within the natal birth chart, but also for those of you who have the sign of Cancer ruling the 9th house within your natal birth chart as well. Now, if you happen to have any of these placements, then definitely let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button, and also make sure that you give this video a like, remember, and I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye.